In this video, I'll show you how to draw an eye in just 3 easy steps. Let's get right into it. Step 1. Sketch the shape of the eye. Start by drawing the pupil by drawing a circle. You can use a compass, or you can draw the circle by hand and fix it by trial and error until you get a perfect circle. The size of the circle depends on how big you want the pupil to be. After this, draw the iris by sketching a larger circle with the same center as the pupil. The size of this larger circle depends on how large you want the iris to be. Note, as we draw the pupil and the iris, the larger and smaller circles need to have the same center. That is crucial for a realistic eye drawing. Now, try drawing a random wavy circle around the pupil. This is optional, but I highly recommend it as it will make the eye drawing look more detailed and realistic later on. After this, draw the white of the eye by drawing a lemon shape around the iris. Make sure that the upper edge slightly cuts through a top segment of the iris, and leave some space between the lower edge and the bottom of the iris. This is because the upper eyelid typically covers part of the iris, and the lower eyelid typically doesn't touch the iris. Sketch the tear duct by drawing a vertical line at the left side of the eye. Lightly draw the eyelashes at the edge of the upper eyelid. Do this by drawing a U shape, and then gradually lift the pencil off the paper. Now, lightly draw the eyelashes at the edge of the lower eyelid. Do this by drawing an N shape and also gradually lift the pencil off the paper. Note that the upper eyelashes are thicker and longer, and the lower eyelashes are thinner and shorter. Remember, you want to draw the eyelashes lightly so that if you've made a mistake, you can always erase and try again until you're satisfied. Sketch the top wrinkle of the upper eyelid and draw the bottom wrinkle of the lower eyelid. Then outline the shape of the eyebrow at the top. Finally, outline the shape of the highlight on the iris. Step 2. Shade the eye. Let's begin with the iris. Start by drawing lines from the center to the circumference. The reason why these lines are so important is because when we start shading the iris, we will apply all of our pencil strokes along the direction of these lines. This will make the iris look more realistic. Note that as we shade the iris, we want to keep the highlight completely white. That is, we never want to even touch the highlight. Color in the pupil using a 6B pencil. Next, we begin shading the area of the iris inside of this random wavy circle. Start by darkening the lines from the pupil to the edge of the wavy circle using a 6B pencil. Then, using a 4B pencil, shade this inner area by applying the pencil in the direction of these lines. After this, add another layer of shading by applying a 2B pencil in the direction of these lines. Then, lightly blend over this area using a brush. Now, we can begin shading the area of the iris outside of this random wavy circle. Start by applying a 6B pencil, starting from the circumference in the inward direction. Then, using a 2B pencil, shade the iris in the direction of these lines. After this, blend over this area using a brush. Next, use a tombow mono eraser or an eraser pencil to lightly erase the area just outside of the wavy circle. This will create a bright, wavy circular ring, which adds more detail and realism to this drawing. Lightly blend over this wavy ring, since we don't want this ring to be too bright. Now, we will add some more detail to the area of the iris outside of this wavy ring. Using the 4B pencil, just add random pencil strokes in the direction of the lines that we used to shade the iris. Then, using the tombow mono eraser or just an eraser pencil, erase random strokes again in the same direction that we shaded the iris. After this, lightly blend over this outer area of the iris using a brush. Now, using a 6B pencil, shade over the circumference of the iris. Then, using tissue or an e-cotton, blend over the circumference of the iris. The reason why is because the iris typically has a blurry edge. Next, using the 6B pencil, go over the eyelashes. Now, again notice we left the highlighted area completely blank. However, the shadow of the top eyelashes will show on the highlights. So, using a 4B pencil, draw the shadow of the eyelashes on the highlights. Do this by drawing very narrow U shapes at the top area of the highlights. After this, we will shade over the white of the eye using a H pencil. The reason why is because the white of the eye is not actually completely white in a drawing. It's actually a light shade of grey. Then, at the left and right sides of the white of the eye, add another layer of shading, except this time use a B pencil. This will help make the eye look more realistic and more three-dimensional. Don't forget to shade the tear duct as well. After shading the eye, use a white gel pen or just a correction pen to add highlights, especially at the bottom edge of the eye and at the tear duct. Step 3. Shade the surrounding skin and draw the eyebrows. And that's it. I hope you all learned from this tutorial. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button.